Morning all. Today we will discuss about the cardiovascular shock, which is the CVS has failed to deliver the required perfusion to the cells. It is defined in various ways. The, it is also called circulatory shock. It is a syndrome that is a mixture of many problems, many diseases. Let's call syndrome. It is a syndrome characterized by serious reduction of tissue perfusions with inadequate cardiac output. The cardiac output is decreased. Shock is a condition characterized by inadequate delivery of oxygen and nutrient to the critical organs such as heart, brain, liver, kidney, GIT. Types and causes of shock. They are depending on the cause and why there is inadequate cardiac output. Divided into four groups. Hypovolemic shock. The blood volume is getting reduced. That is the main cause. Vasogenic shock. There is some severe reduction like anaphylactic reaction, certain drugs given, neurogenic, etc. This is vasogenic shock. The vessels have suddenly dilated, and so proper exchange at capillary level, reabsorption at the venation capillary is not there. That is vasogenic shock. Then the cardiogenic shock, that is cause lies within the heart. Heart is not able to pump the required amount of blood. The cardiac output reduced primarily due to the cause in the heart. That is cardiogenic shock. Obstructive shock, there is some obstruction to the blood flow. Another way of expressing definition. It is a generalized inadequate blood flow to the extent that the body tissues are damaged. Body tissue are damaged, especially because too little oxygen and other nutrients delivered to the tissue cells. In the even the cardiovascular system itself, the heart musculature, wall of blood vessels, vasomotor system, and other circulatory parts, they do not get sufficient oxygen and other nutrients, so they start deteriorating. So shock once begun, is usually progressive, becoming worse and worse. The circulatory shock, that is either cardiogenic, or the hypovolemic, or the vasogenic, or is also called distribution shock, and obstruction. And then the response to the shock, the body attempts to return to the homeostasis via hormones, local vasodilators, sympathetic activation, autonomic nervous system, and all other attempts by, if the blood volume is low, by absorbing more fluid from the tissues, by thirst. So the subject takes water. So by all the responses, body tries to come to the balance the loss. Signs of shock are low systolic blood pressure, weak and rapid pulse. Fast and feeble pulse is an important sign of the shock. Then cool, pale and clammy skin. Skin has become cold and pale. Altered mental states, some confusion or drowsiness in the brain. Nausea, and important is thirst, because there is a low blood volume, that thirst will be there. And pH, there is acidosis in blood, so pH is low in the blood. This is the cardiogenic shock. This is the cause lies in the heart. The tank, that is veins, there is the main tank of blood is a veins. So there is a problem in both veins, or there is obstruction here or in the lungs or anywhere. Then volume of the blood is reduced because of the loss in the hemorrhage or any other cause. Then the distribution shock, that is arterioles are dilated and the proper the absorption of the fluid is not there from the venous end. Lot of fluid is filtered out. Blood volume reduces. So these are the four types. Like this is pump, defect in pump, that is heart, tank, that is in veins, storage in the veins, pipe, that is arteries and arterioles, where the radius of the is suddenly increased because of vasogenic shock, or the exchange mechanism, that is capillaries. These are the four causes. So it is designed, defined by the various leading and prestigious textbooks. The Love and Bailey, their world reputed textbook of surgery, defines shock as a life-threatening situation due to the poor tissue perfusion with impaired cellular metabolism that is manifested by serious pathophysiological abnormalities. Then Davidson, the leading book of the medicine, shock is a term used to describe the clinical syndrome that develops when there is a critical impairment of tissue perfusion due to some form of acute circulatory failure. Then shock may be defined as inadequate delivery of oxygen nutrients to maintain normal tissue and cellular function by Schwartz. And then the state which profound and widespread the state in which there is a profound widespread reduction of effective tissue perfusion. And if prolonged into irreversible cellular injury it can take. And the specialty of the shock is the critical care medicine, emergency medicine. The usually initial symptoms include weakness, fast and feeble pulse, heart rate, then the fast breathing, sweating, anxiety, increased thirst, and when there is a brain oxygen deteriorates, it leads to confusion, even unconscious as later part, even the stoppage of the heart can occur. So this is the, as we have discussed, this is the hypovolemic low volume is there, hypovolemic shock or the cardiogenic shock, obstetric shock or distributive shock, that is also we call as vasogenic shock. And the cause may be if there is a volume is less than bleeding, then there may be excessive bleeding to traumatic injury, pancreatitis. So these are the causes and the types of shock. That include the bleeding and other causes, diarrhea, vomiting, etc. And hypertension, tachycardia, tachypnea, confusion, and oliguria. These are the common symptoms and signs. Myocardial and cerebral ischemia, pulmonary edema in case of cardiogenic shock, a multisystem organ failure that can follow. The class 1 type of shock, if there is a bleeding because of the hemorrhage, if the blood loss is up to 750 milliliter, 50, up to 15% of blood loss, there is class 1. Slight increase in heart rate, no change in blood pressure or respiration. Body itself will maintain. Body, the physiological, cardiovascular reflexes and others, the body will compensate it. You need not worry, and body will manage. If the blood loss is 750 to 1500, up to 30% loss, then there is a constant increase in heart rate and respiration. There is increased diastolic blood pressure, anxiety, fright or hostility. Patient is confused. Up to 1500 blood milliliter. Then third stage, 1500 to 2000 milliliter, up to 40% of blood loss. There is a constant increase in heart rate, increase in respiration, and the amplitude of the pulse is decreased, fast and feeble pulse, fall in diastolic blood pressure, and other significant changes. And the fourth is over 2000, over the 40% of blood loss. There is severe tachycardia, fast and feeble pulse, very severe lowering of blood pressure. There is a cold, pale skin, and severe acute myocardial status syndrome. Acute myocardial syndrome may be there, third and fourth one. The shock is of hypovolemic type. Then Mostly the cause may be hemorrhage or the non-hemorrhagic causes. Hemorrhagic may external blood loss due to wounds, accidental or other injuries. Then exteriorization of internal bleeding, hematemesis, melena, epistaxis, be outside the blood vessel but within the body. Then internal bleeding like hemothorax, hemoperiostome, etc. And then traumatic shock where there is a lot of bleeding will be there. Non-hemorrhagic causes there is digestive losses like vomiting, diarrhea, neostin suction, biliary and digestive fistula. Here in the summer season, there is a acute diarrhea and vomiting that causes the hypovolemic shock. Renal losses due to diabetes insipidus, polyuria caused by diuretic overdose, osmotic substances or polyuric phase of the acute renal failure. The renal causes them blood volume is decreased because of the lot of excretion of the salt and water. Skin losses until physical effort, overeat. In summer, lot of fluid is lost because of the heat. The loss in the fluid loss in the body cavities. That is peritonitis, intestinal occlusion. Peritoneum is lot of fluid collects in the peritoneum because of the inflammation. Intestinal occlusion, pancreatitis, ascites, pleural effusion. They are the non-hemorrhagic causes. Presentation of shock is variable. Some people having only minimal symptoms such as confusion and weakness, while the general signs all type of shock are low blood pressure, decreased urine output, confusion, and these always may not be present. It depends on severity and cause. Well, a fast heart rate is common, but if a fast and feeble pulse is there, it is a danger sign. Those on beta blockers, those who are athletic, and in the 30% of cases, those with shock due to intra-abdominal bleeding may have a normal or slow heart rate. It's like always also slow heart rate. Beta, if you are giving beta blocker due to hypertension, this prevent the sympathetic influence on heart. So the fast heart rate may be prevented. Even then there may be shock. So you have to, in these cases, you have to keep in mind. And there may be specific subtypes of the there may be additional symptoms. Dry mucous membrane, reduce skin texture. Will not have same skin as we have. Okay? Just you see, you will be able to recognize that something unusual. So dry mucous membrane and reduced skin turgor, prolonged capillary refill time, weak peripheral pulses, and cold extremities. These are the early signs. Then I have already discussed the intense thirst if there is hypovolemic shock, tachycardia, tachypnea, then fast heart rate, Posey orthostatic test. If you do the sign, doctor can elicit it. Change the posture of the subject. Small pulse wave and the hypotension, agitation, anxiety, confusion, maybe coma, in extreme cases oliguria, whole extremities, profuse sweating, callous periphery veins, and delayed return of the color to the nail bed. Nail beds are such you can see the vascularization of the body. If the nails are not painted, nail polish is not there, then you can easily see the pink color beneath the nail bed. That is the healthy vascularization. Or you take the history, if there is history of hemorrhage or hemorrhagic losses. The hypovolemic shock is the most common out of all shock. and it goes by insufficient circulating volume, because the accidents are very common. So these injuries are very common, and so the hypovolemic shock due to the, this is the out of all shock, this is most common, and there also the hemorrhagic shock is most common. The internal or external hemorrhage, however, vomiting and diarrhea is next common, and excess urine due to the diabetic ketoacidosis and diabetic insipidus. Diabetes, which is diabetes mellitus, which is uncontrolled, leads to ketoacidosis. There is a excessive urination and diabetes insipidus. There also it is the third important cause. Then, as I told you, up to 15% blood loss, just we have seen. Little tachycardia, no significant other signs. If up to 30%, the heart rate 100 beats per minute, and increase respiration, pulse pressure is decreased. But in class 3, where the loss is 30 to 40%, the marked tachycardia, fast and feeble pulse, increased respiration, decreased oliguria, decreased systolic blood pressure. At more than 40%, it is very severe, fast and feeble pulse. There is a pulse pressure is greatly reduced, difference between systolic and diastolic, and urinary output is decreased or no urinary output, and it is very life-threatening. These are the things we have seen. Hypovolemic shock. This is the that this we have seen. This is the blood loss, decreased arterial pressure. There is various cardiovascular reflexes the body tries. With the baroreceptor reflex in filtered blood gas is that causes chemoreceptor reflex, and the cardiac stimulation, systemic vasoconstriction, flow and volume and redistribution. Body tries to the settle everything. Then this is the class 1 we have seen. Then the class 2, class 3 and class 4 type of hypovolemic shock when blood loss is so much. Percentage of blood loss. Pulse rate is below 100 in class 1. It is up to just more than 100, and it is about 120 in class 3, and it is more than 140. This is very important criteria, pulse rate. And pulse pressure is very important. The amplitude of the pulse, it should be normal, slightly decrease in class 2, but it is significant decrease in class 3, and so this is called fast and feeble pulse when pulse pressure is greatly decreased. And these are other criteria: respiratory rate, this is the urine output, mental status, it is anxious, confused, and total lethargic. And last one, fluid replacement, crystalloid should be given, crystalloid in all, plus 3 and 4 blood should be given. Then the another type of shock is the cardiogenic shock, also very common. A failure of the heart to pump effectively. This can be due to damage to the heart muscle, most often from a large myocardial infarction. This is very common. Other causes of cardiac shock. This is the these are the various uh, sign symptoms, how they look like if there is a cardiogenic shock. Lower limb edema, sacral edema, hepatomegaly, increased regular venous distension. That is in a long-term heart failure. We see later on. This is the cardiogenic state. What are the symptoms and signs we see? There is a reduced cardiac output. There is a peripheral, the central venous pressure. That is the increased CVP, and the blood pressure is low. Systemic vascular resistance increase. Because body tries to increase the systemic vascular resistance, increase the blood pressure, because which is reduced. Causes of cardiac acute MI, acute myocardial infarction, 79%. What is the cause of the uh, sudden cardiogenic shock? 79% left ventricular failure, because left ventricular supplies the whole body. So 79% cases there is a left ventricular failure. 70%, 7% case में there is a mitral regurgitation. 4% there is a ventricular septal defect, because there is a myocardial in ventricular septum. Some of the cells have died. That causes the perforation between left and right ventricle. There is ventricular septal defect. And if there is a valve is involved, mitral valve, that is called mitral regurgitation. The valve will fail. One way valve capacity will be fail. In 7% cases, there is a acute mitral regurgitation. The left side of the valve, that is a problem. There is a in 3% isolated right ventricular failure. In that side, there is a myocardial infarction. 2% tamponade cardiac rupture because of the wall, massive cells of death cell myocardium has died. Some part that is there is a perforation of the cardiac wall, that is called cardiac tamponade. Sudden cardiac arrest can occur. Other causes is 7% of cases. This is the and there may be left ventricular outflow tract or filling obstruction, severe myocardial depression secondary to septic shock, myocardial contusion, myocarditis, cardiomyopathy, acute caudal rupture with mitral regurgitation, acute aortic insufficiency, and prolonged cardiopulmonary bypass. The other causes of the cardiogenic shock might be there. This is the most important is left ventricular failure. Systolic dysfunction, coronary artery disease may be caused or acute MI and other condition, severe myocarditis and end-stage cardiomyopathy. Valvular cause may be myocardial contusion, prolonged cardiopulmonary bypass, global hypoxia, myocardial depression, beta blocker, calcium channel blocker, antiarrhythmic drugs. That these all causes sometimes depression of the myocardium. You have to constantly monitor the heart. Respiratory acidosis, metabolic derangement, acidosis, hypophosphatemia, hypocalcemia, tachycardia, related cardiomyopathy. Based on etiology and prolonged, this is the same thing which you have seen. Systolic dysfunction most important. Sometimes you have diastolic dysfunction, valvular dysfunction, arrhythmia, coronary artery disease, and other symptoms may be there. This is the acute coronary syndrome, cardiogenic shock, the causes. The majority of cases, this acute coronary syndrome, there is myocardial infarction. The majority of cases. Then acute and chronic heart failure. This is already chronic heart failure is there and suddenly causes acute failure. So these, most of the cases, there is either acute or chronic, acute or chronic. Then this is there is stress cardiomyopathy. In some cases, mechanical complications of MI, the mechanical complication of like valvular defects, others. There is mechanical complication of MI, then valvular disease and myocarditis in such cases. So you can see the majority is myocardial infection. This is myocardial infection. This is mechanical defect of myocardial infection. This is acute myocardial problem based on chronic complications. So these are all primary due to myocardial infection. And then maybe valvular causes and myocarditis and cardiomyopathy in few other cases. This is the thing. This is the, if you do this angiography, get the dye from here, you can see this left circumflex LCS, left coronary artery. This is anterior descending. The left circumflex, you can see this is completely almost 100%, 99 to 100% it is blocked here. So that part has gone dead. That is myocardial infarction because there is no blood supply in the left circumflex artery. Here is there may be atherosclerosis, then there may be blood clot over and above that, and that has led to stoppage of blood supply by left circumflex artery. It supplies the lateral part of left ventricle, so there is a left lateral ventricular acute myocardial infarction. What clinical investigations you will carry out in case of shock? The renal care, urine measurement is very vital. If the urine output is within 24 hours, if urine out is normal 1.5 to 2 milliliter, you can say patient has achieved the physiological status. So just by how much urine output, that is a very critical measurement. Urine measurement is vital to measure the effectiveness of drugs. There is a shock and you are giving drugs, you are giving fluid. Urine aa raha hai ki nahi aa raha hai? If urine is coming, then it is effective. Otherwise, drug is not effective. And electrolytes, potassium level, all these, the renal care is very important because it shows, if it shows the heart is, it is almost a overflow. If tank is full, then overflow of the water tank will occur. So there, if there is a sufficient renal output, that means overflow is occurred. That means the cardiovascular system is become normal. Then blood analysis. These are all the cardiac enzymes and all these troponins and all these fasting blood sugar, etc. You can do it. If there is any ketoacidosis or diabetes. So many blood tests you have to do. Then ECG to look inside the heart without opening the heart. That is eye of the physician. That is important. If there is a myocardial infarction or anything. May show the multifocal ventricular ectopic indicative of irritable ventricle or the systemic changes, acute myocardial infarction, STT elevation, ST depression, chest X-ray, evidence of pulmonary edema, and cardiac enlargement. That will be seen even in X-ray. The clinical diagnosis depends on pulmonary congestion, bilateral pleural effusion, cardiomegaly, pericardial effusion, widened mediastinum, pneumothorax, mediastinum. This is on X-ray you can see. In ECG you can see the left ventricular function, complications of MI, the acute MR, ventricular septal rupture, free wall rupture. Echocardiography you have to do. If this is required, this is ECG, etc. you have done. Then you can do the other is this echocardiography mainly because it is not harmful and you can see very accurately modern methods inside the heart. So you can exactly show how much there is a function, cardiac output, how the blood is going, left ventricle is contracting, its diameter. Everything you can measure, you can see the walls. Any regurgitation is there. A ruptured free wall is the ventricular septal rupture, there is free wall rupture, cardiac tamponade, right ventricular infarct, dilatation, AC energy, abnormal interventricular intersector motion, that you can all really see inside. Then cardiogenic shock diagnosis, the cardiogenic biochemical profile you do, cardiac enzymes, the arterial blood gases, there is important arterial blood gases in all shock. You have to do the arterial blood gas analysis, lactate, the brain natriuretic peptide, and echocardiography, chest radiography findings, and coronary angioplasty. And if it is indicated, angiography. These are life-saving measures. So these are the things we have seen. Now there are another third type of cardiogenic shock is the obstructive type of shock. There may be mean arterial pressure may be reduced cardiac output because it is heart rate into stroke volume and into systemic vascular resistance. This is the formula. The artery is working, but this blocked the outflow. What will be the cause? There is massive pulmonary embolism, there is aortic dissection, there is a aortic aneurysm or the dissection aorta is rupture, cardiac tamponade, tension pneumothorax, tension that may obstruct the venous flow. Obstruct to the venous flow, a vena cava syndrome, there is neoplasma, granulomatous disease, sickle cell chronic generation, or the obstruction in the artery, aorta, or the vein. This is that also because there is no sufficient blood coming back to the heart or heart cannot pump out. That produces shock. There the obstructive shock. Blood pressure lead to venous congestion. If there is a block, myocardium contracts against high afterload. Obstructive shock here. There is a aortic stenosis or there is any block in the aorta that is contracts against very high afterload. So the cardiac output will reduce. Sympathetic activity leads to vasoconstriction, blood to maintain, and despite the normal BP, organs are poorly perfused due to the reduction in blood flow, and there is a venous congestion also. This is causes may be cardiac tamponade, tension pneumothorax, massive pulmonary embolism, and sign may be reduced cardiac output and increased peripheral resistance. This is the cardiac tamponade, blood in pericardial sac prevents venous return to and contraction of the heart. Then In a pericardium also, it can block. If there is a blood, there is a hemorrhage in the pericardium. It may be related to trauma, pericarditis, myocardial infection, the hypotension, muffled heart sound, and jugular venous. That is the diagnosis is the large heart, and echo you can diagnose it in pericardiocentesis. Clinical picture of obstructive shock: elevated jugular venous pressure and central venous pressure is increased. This is important. Obstructive shock is there. If you do the ones first, because there is a congestion in the veins, so jugular venous pressure and central venous pressure increase. Pulses, paradoxus, and muffled heart sounds, cardiac tamponade. This may be present. And pulmonary embolism is there. That is pulmonary oligomia on X-ray, dyspnea, difficulty in respiration, and on ECG, P pulmonale. That is specific feature in the P wave. And obstetrics is from the shock associated with physical obstruction of the gate vessels, systemic pulmonary circulation, or several conditions can result in form of shock. They are not very common, but it can be there. Nelson pneumothorax, pulmonary embolism, aortic stenosis, then hypertrophic subaortic stenosis, abdominal compartment. The pressure may be high. Abnormal heart rhythm, heart rate, reduced blood pressure, cool tummy skin. Now, the fourth variety, very important, another one. Most important is cardiogenic shock. Then there may be hypovolemic shock. And third important is the distributive shock. Distributive shock may be of three varieties: septic shock, then anaphylactic shock. There is a penicillin or any other injection, there is severe allergic reaction. This is a very life-threatening one. This is called anaphylactic shock. And the neurogenic shock. Three varieties of the distributive shock. And if it is a septic shock, what may be sign symptoms? There may be decrease or increased systemic vascular resistance, vasodilatation and vasodilation, pulling of blood, with extreme vasodilatation, and that blood remains in periphery, doesn't return to the heart. Increased capillary permeability, and lot of fluid is filtered at the artery end of the capillary. The all doesn't come back on the, so there is reduced preload. Venous return is getting reduced, and depressed myocardial contractility. Because venous return is not there, naturally cardiac output cannot be. Contraction is reduced. In anaphylactic shock, with pulmonary vasoconstriction, we know arterial dilatation and increased capillary perfusion. Same thing because the extreme dilatation, arterioles, etc. In anaphylactic shock, histamine is released. It is a vasodilatation, because of vasodilatation, and lot of the histamine causes the extreme capillary permeability. That all fluid oozes out, doesn't come back in the venous end of capillary, and that is same thing, that is reduced venous return, and the cardiac output is greatly decreased. Third variety is neurogenic shock. That is the loss of sympathetic tone. Usually sympathetic is constantly constricting the arterioles, but that is loss of, whether a neurogenic shock is there, sympathetic tone is reduced. That is called vasodilation, lack of compensatory tachycardia and peripheral, because the cardiovascular reflexes also will be lost, the baroreceptor, etc. And the peripheral vasoconstriction cannot be carried out. The same thing occurs as it occurs here. Septic shock, or the dyspnea, productive cough, dysuria, hematuria, chills, because there is a lot of infection has gone in blood. That is called septicemia. The myalgia, rashes, fatigue, malaise, headache, photophobia, and the signs are fever, very high grade fever. Even if you give drug, it doesn't stop, because there is a lot of infection in blood. That is called septicemia. Tachypnea, fast and feeble pulse, irritable mental state, and flushing in the skin. This is the capillary leak worsens. The hypovolemia, blood volume greatly decreased because of the fluid going out, that causes edema. If this occurs in the pulmonary circulation, it causes pulmonary edema. That is very dangerous, and changes will lead to the reduction in blood pressure and decreased perfusion of the organs, because vessels dilate, causing relative hypovolemia, and reduction in because the systemic vascular resistance is decreased. That's why there is a the fluid goes in out. The alternate fluid therapy, the heart usually compensates by increased heart and contractility. So this might not be enough sometimes. Heart tries to compensate it, remember? But if there is enough alexis, etc., unless you give drugs, it doesn't return to normal. Temperature, there may be heart rates more than 90, respiratory rate more than 20, WBC count because septicemia is there, it may be very high, is more than 12,000. Is a low blood pressure due to dilatation of blood vessels within the body. This can be caused by systemic infection, septic shock, or anaphylaxis, or the neurogenic shock like spinal cord injury. Neurogenic spinal cord injury, etc., septic shock or anaphylactic shock. There is no change in blood volume. Blood sufficient is there. It has gone out. Decreased vascular tone, vasodilation, and volume distribution changes. Distribution of the blood volume is sufficient. Blood volume distribution changes. In that increased capillary permeability, so a lot of volume in the interstitial spaces it goes. If there is a neurogenic shock, then the pink, warm, dry skin below the injury. This spinal injury there, below the spot of injury in the spinal cord. Pink, warm, and dry skin, bradycardia or normal heart rate, constricted pupil, non-reactive pupil, diaphragmatic absent breathing. Because diaphragm, if it is injured, there is a problem in severe problem in breathing. Severe hypotension, diarrhea, paralysis. Septic shock is the most common type. And the sepsis में क्या होगा? Shivering, fever, or very cold, but there is a chills. You feel the shivering in the body, extreme pain or general discomfort, worst ever discomfort in our life, pale or discolored skin, sleepy, difficulty to rouse, confused. Patient is so drowsy. Drowsiness is a patient. If you ask, the patient will sleep. It is called drowsiness. That is a very dangerous sign. Patient is confused and drowsy. I feel like I might die. Patient himself understand. A sort of breath. Watch for a combination of these symptoms. If you suspect the sepsis, that is the brief note of the Mayo Clinic. This is the temperature 38 degree above, heart rate is 90 above, respiratory more than 20, PCO2 more than 32, WBC count more than 12,000, and these are the then it goes to sepsis level, severe sepsis and septic shock. This is the very dangerous thing. Child something different because small child they don't speak, or even they are able to speak, they cannot understand themselves. Any child who feels abnormally cold to touch, looks mottled bluish, is very pale skin, a rash that does not fade away when you press, is breathing very fast, is a convulsion, is very lethargic or difficult to wake up. This is in a child under the age of 5. So, is not eating, vomiting repeatedly, has not urinated since 12 hours. In that case, you see one or more of these symptoms, that is the danger sign. Septic shock. This is maybe either from urinary infection, chest infection, abdominal surgery, invasive catheter, early sepsis, late sepsis, fever or hypothermia, rigor, chills, tachycardia, tachypnea, nausea, vomiting, hyperglycemia, myalgia, lethargy, malaise, proteinuria, hypoxia, leukocytosis, and hyperbilirubinemia. Late sepsis, there is lactic acidosis, oliguria, then leukopenia, disseminated intravascular clotting is a dangerous thing. Within the circulation, the clotting occurs. Myocardial depression, pulmonary edema, hypotension, there is a patient goes in shock, hypoglycemia. These are all things can happen. That is the cause overwhelming systemic infection resulting in vasodilation leading to hypertension. There may be Escherichia coli, Proteus species, Klebsiella, pneumonia. These are the various organisms. either pneumococcal infection or there is any other infection. That organism goes in blood and multiplies there. This is called infection, sepsis, septicemia. Goes in blood and multiplies there. That is the septic. So this is the septic shock. Then another is the anaphylactic shock, which is a, we have to be very careful. But doctor, we must know everything about anaphylaxis. Because if you give a penicillin injection, only sometimes any injection, vaccine, anything, it may suddenly cause a severe reaction. That if it is a severe lab threatening, is called anaphylactic shock. What happens in that? Swelling of the conjunctiva, running nose, swelling of lips, tongue. Suddenly, patient is having difficulty in breathing because of the this is a laryngeal edema. Heart and vasculature fast and feeble pulse. Skin becomes itching, flushing. Pelvic pain may be there. Central nervous system, then lightheadedness, loss of consciousness, confusion, anxiety, respiration, shortness of breath, wheeze of stridor. Because there is a angioneurotic edema. This is called laryngeal edema. Larynx, there is a difficulty in respiration. There is a very emergency. Hoarseness of voice because there is a edema in larynx. Pain with swallowing, cough, even difficulty in swallowing. Cramps, abdominal cramp, pain, diarrhea, and vomiting. Due to acute allergic reaction, due to severe reaction to allergens, drugs like penicillin, radiocontrast, lignocaine, anesthetic drug or iron injectable iron. Then, or blood transfusion, sometimes mismatched blood transfusion can create it, anaphylactic shock, or snake bite, sting in new clothes, sometimes rarely, but dusting smokes and suddenly climate change. The manifestation is skin is itching, erythema, urtica, angioneuric edema is there, suspect sneezing, running nose, clogged coughing. This is we also see because a swollen larynx, tightness in throat, hoarseness of voice, and cyanosis. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, itching, tears. These are the there is a cardiovascular collapse. There is fast and feeble pulse, fainting, hypotension, tachycardia, cardiac arrhythmia, even cardiac arrest can occur. This is the what you should do. This is the look for acute onset of illness. It is a immediate. It will anaphylaxis always occur within seconds. It is a immediate acute onset is very important. And life-threatening airway obstruction, breathing problem, and there is a life-threatening circulatory problems. Skin changes. There is immediately you shall call for help. Patient flat, raise the patient's legs, so the blood pressure. And if you have adrenaline, inject adrenaline. Sometimes directly in the chamber of the heart. Otherwise, you give the direct adrenal injection in the vein if it is available vein. That is very important. Equipment should be available. Establish airway, high oxygen, flow oxygen, IV fluids, the chlorampheniramine, that is antihistaminic, the hydrocortisone, the fast acting steroids. Then adrenaline first, then fast acting steroids. Monitor the pulse oximetry, ECG, blood pressure. This is this is what is the problem which causes the danger to the life in anaphylaxis reaction? The swelling, hoarseness. The most important is the swelling of the larynx that causes the airway obstruction. And rapid breathing, wheezing, there will because if force jet of air through a narrowed opening that is larynx that causes wheezes like whistle. Then the cyanosis, SpO2 less than 92%, confusion, pale, clammy, low blood pressure. Then faintness and drowsy and coma. Give adrenaline injection intramuscular or IV. If vein is available, you can explore the vein. Otherwise, give intramuscular. IV dose is 1 in 1000 adrenaline. Repeat after 5 minutes. There is no improvement. Adult 500 microgram intramuscular, that is 0.5 milliliter. Child about the 12 hours of age, the same. Child below 6, between 6 and 12, 300 microgram or 3 milliliter. Child less than the 6 years, 150 microgram. Then adrenaline IV to be given only by the experienced specialist. Tried adult 50 micrograms, child 1 microgram per kilogram body weight. But there is a, if you have not fully experienced, don't give IV. Give the intramuscular adrenaline. Then the 3 IV fluid challenge adult 500 to 1000 milliliters child is the, then the chlorpheniramine, that is a antihistaminic. This is the dose adult 10 milligram, child 6 to 12 5 milligram, below 6 years 2.5 milligram, and child less than 6 months 250 microgram per kilogram of body weight. And hydrocortisone. So three are emergency drugs, key drugs: adrenaline, the antihistaminic, and hydrocortisone, that is steroid. Okay. Intramuscular slow IV 200 milligram, in adult the 6 to 12 100 milligram, 50 and below 6 months 25 milligram. This is the management of the anaphylaxis. All doctors must know very well, because any drugs, any injection we give, it is prone to be anaphylaxis. You should, most important, you should identify the anaphylaxis reaction. That is very important. Remove the allergen. For example, if you are giving blood, immediately discontinue the blood giving. The allergen removal should be there. Immediately discontinue it. Then the emergency system, emergency medicine system, whatever the procedure, you follow it. Place the patient in supine position. There is the CPR, whatever you want to know. If there is outside, then the first is airway, breathing, circulation. Give intravenous injection of adrenaline without delay, 1 in 1000, as you have seen. And adrenaline is the first thing. Treatment should include the adrenaline first, then give antihistaminic, then give the steroids. If the hydrocortisone is not available, give prednisolone. Then repeat epinephrine if symptoms persist. Observe for 4 hours minimum. Arrange follow-up care, provide epinephrine treatment and education. So these are the things in anaphylaxis reaction. The most important, you should identify it. There is skin changes, brushing, wheezing and shortness of breath. That is most important. If there is a immediate wheezing sound occurs in the respiration, that means there is a laryngeal edema, and that is very dangerous thing. There may be spinal injury. History you should take what has happened. The history of drug is there, history of injury. There will be rarely these are the shock may be there. The endocrine, it is called endocrine shock, maybe due to severe hypothyroidism, thyrotoxicosis, or severe adrenal insufficiency. There will be insulin shock or overdose of insulin. Okay. Endocrine shock may present as a complication of the hypovolemic shock. In this also, endocrine shock can occur because of this. There is no perfusion to the endocrine organs. There is a hypovolemic shock, cardiogenic shock, disruptive shock, and causes of endocrine shock may be hypo, that we have seen. This is the pathogenic of shock that occurs. Actually, this is a stages of shock is the compensated stage, progressive stage, and irreversible stage. Well, ultimately, this will go to this state. The compensatory body itself compensates. Then, this is non-progressive stage is called compensatory stage. This is the progressive stage. This vicious cycle of the cardiovascular deterioration, positive feedback mechanism evoked, and goes on increasing. Shock goes on increases. You should be instant, and treatment should be there. Instant treatment. If there is it may stop progression. But irreversible stage, even if you give treatment, is unlikely to improve. Any other type of therapy, if you give a transfusion, even a therapy, it does not improve, because the lot of organs, vital organs have no longer reversed, because the fails, vital organs have so damaged that you cannot now solve the progress. Cell ischemia and cell death has occurred, and they begin 1 to 3 weeks after the initial event. And patient reaches this stage, you most likely die unless nature miracle. This is the stage, the compensated stage. This is the Decompensation stage, the treatment can reverse it, but at this stage, then there is a no chance. Almost. This is the These are the various stages of the shock. In Menageon object, we have seen the established large airways, then a crystalloid normal saline, PEC RBCs. Okay? This all we have seen it. And this is all we have seen. Most important, you have to identify the and give the this is the sometimes heart needs the mechanical support. These are some of the mechanical support. If heart has failed, you can give some mechanical temporary support, and that companies have the FDA has approved since 2018 mechanical support which breeds the intra-aortic balloon pump. This is the left ventricle has failed. Then the some this is the heart met second. This is the it is left ventricular, it gives left ventricular support. This is called heart met second system controller. This is the external battery etc is there, and you can give the support. This is the various devices are ventricular assist device VAD. In, here also in India also we are employing this with the help of these companies. You can see the pump. Left ventricle is fail as pump. So this pump aids the left ventricle in pushing the blood to the systemic circulation. This is the artificial heart, and this is the blood outflow in the aorta and inflow from the left ventricle because left ventricle has failed, and instead of left ventricle this will act as a pump. This person is living